I'm over here in the lounge with Frank Rook. Frank is the creative director of Mad Max, a game that was announced last night at the Sony press conference coming from Avalanche. So Frank, wanted to ask you about this game, something that was sort of a complete surprise. I think it had been rumored for a while. There might be something going on with this. But tell us about this game. What you showed, obviously, last night was a CG trailer, but you are going to be at the show floor showing this game. Don't have any gameplay to show people, but I want to hear about this game and tell us about it. So Mad Max, we know sort of the film franchise, obviously that type of stuff. This is an original game sort of set in the universe of Mad Max. How do you describe it?
That's correct. We, just right out of the gate, we are definitely not making this game to replay any aspect of the old movies or anything related to the new movie. It's definitely our own standalone game.
Okay.
It takes place, of course, inspired by the universes that we see in both of those places. But it's a standalone game, but it's really about the character Mad Max. We're not changing anything about him. He's that classic anti-hero that we really love to use in games. He's that individual with some internal demons. He's needing to escape the wasteland, but that's just setting it up, of course.
Yep.
We have all kinds of great gameplay, open world, tons of things for the player to do, all that wrapped up into this great universe of Mad Max.
So obviously the guys at Avalanche are known for the Just Cause series, this sort of incredible over-the-top action, tons of vehicles, big open world. That's the kind of game we're going to play here. I mean, obviously Mad Max is a very specific focus, though, on obviously vehicles and whatnot, right? So we're going to see tons of vehicles in this game, and you have your own vehicle as well,
yes.
right?
Yes. This is a big open world game.
Yep.
A lot of player choice. The vehicles play an important part of the game. Yes, you get a chance to build your own iconic wasteland war machine, much like the Interceptor that we see in the films.
Right.
And that's really the key thing. The player has a chance to make their own version of that iconic vehicle, and that's really the backbone of what the player is doing in the game.
So, open world is such an incredible genre, but there's so much that has to go into making one of these games. What is going to be sort of the unique angle to this game? I mean, Just Cause is kind of over-the-top action, tons of fun. I mean, what's going to be different about this Mad Max game?
I would say Avalanche, if you think back on their Just Cause games, there's a lot of freedom, a lot of like emergent type of gameplay that goes on inside of their games. And I would say the same thing for this game, absolutely. Okay. The key thing, though, what we're focusing on, the key pillar, if you want to call it that, for this game is car combat.
Okay.
And what's different about our car combat is that it's fully based on physics. And so instead of pushing any sort of buttons to attack, to evade, and have sort of canned reactions, the player will use the physical attributes of their vehicle and turn that into a weapon.
Okay.
So for example, you want to take the weight of the car, you want to tune the engine, you want to put on different types of armor and ramming ability, and the tires, the grip of the tire. All that stuff equates to a vehicle that is a weapon, and how you use that weapon is this emergent gameplay that we're talking about.
All right, so as we play through this game, we have this experience, there's the wasteland. Is it fully open from the get-go, or how does this sort of build as you play the game?
We want to get the player into that open world freedom as soon as possible, but we want to set up the great context.
Right.
So we want to reintroduce Max. A lot of people haven't seen Max for a long time, so we want to reintroduce him to everybody and set him up as this character, because he is a very distinct character. He has a lot of internal issues that he needs to deal with.
Right.
I mean, you can say that he's that last remaining human that has humanity, any sense of humanity. And that's the demon that he carries around with him. So we want to set that up and make his struggles make sense. But then we get directly into the open world and let the player make all the choices.
And who are we facing off against in this open world?
I don't know if we're actually revealing the primary antagonist yet.
Okay.
But there is some bad people out there, of
right.
course. In fact, everybody you meet is practically a bad person, because it's a very rough, dangerous environment.
Right.
But yeah, we'll probably reveal that person.
All right, so he's obviously going to be in this open world. We've got lots of car combat, as you said. Now, at the show floor, what are you guys showing people that are lucky enough to go behind the scenes?
We have great actual hands-on gameplay for some people. Then we're going to have a presentation to show some gameplay. We'll be playing in front of people. We're demonstrating the car combat, definitely. Yeah. Demonstrating how beautiful the world looks. The wasteland is definitely a detailed, immersive, yet stark and desperate location. And that comes across really great in the game. And we have some other little things in there as well. The player will see.
All right, well, we can't wait to see it. I'm sure gameplay will be coming soon, we hope, to
absolutely.
take a look at it. Mad Max, a big announcement last night at Sony that Warner Brothers Interactive is working on with Avalanche. Frank, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you very much.